Welcome to Algebra 1. This is Mrs. Kleesner. I am the maternity leave sub for Mrs. Tripp. I just wanted to take a moment to introduce myself and share with you that I enjoy the time I'm getting to spend with your children, and it's a privilege and an honor to work with them. I wanted to just briefly give you my contact information, which is on the board behind me, and that so you have a way to reach me. I will be working with your students until September 9th, and then Mrs. Tripp will be returning from her maternity leave. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Tripp so she can introduce herself and go through the policies that she has for her class. Again, feel free to contact me at any time if we have any questions and concerns. You have a blessed day.
Hi there. My name is Mrs. Tripp. Thanks so much to Mrs. Kleesner for introducing herself and for being my maternity leave sub. I know that she's been doing a great job. I'm excited to get back though and get to know your kids here. So again, my name is Mrs. Tripp. This is my 9th year teaching at Lutheran High. I am married to one of the football coaches, Brandon Tripp, and he's also the head track coach. So you'll probably see me out and about at various events and activities and for sure some football games. So if you're at any of those, feel free to say hi and introduce yourself to me. I have in the past coached volleyball, soccer, and I've also was going to help coach track this past year, but with the sports season getting canceled, I didn't get to do that. So maybe this year I'll be helping out with track as well. For now, I am just staying home with our new baby, so I'm not sure what the whole year will bring, but we will see. So I'm going to go ahead and show you our syllabus and talk through that, and then you guys will be free. Your student has me either block 3 or block 4. I'm just making one video for both classes, so same class, same syllabus. So here, I won't read the whole thing to you. This is available in Canvas. Your students can show this to you if you want to see this again. Some important topics I'll just highlight is that we will have a final exam at the end of the semester. That is a requirement for this course in the math department. A final exam is required. It is also mandatory that the student receives a 70 or better in the class in order to move on to any of the next classes in the math sequence. So a 70 or better to move on from Algebra 1. We'll kind of talk about that in just a few minutes as well. So we have a little course outline here of the chapters we will be covering, and then some that we may or may not get to depending on time. We use a curriculum packet that will be delivered to them either as a PDF on Canvas or a paper copy if a student would prefer. I don't mind giving paper copies as well. A stylus will be helpful if a student wants to use their iPad. And then some classroom management pieces. Obviously with coronavirus stuff, we have to stay in our seats. We have to make sure that we're not up and moving around too much in order to make sure that we're keeping our germs to ourselves. We are requiring face masks, so that will be a important piece this year as well. Any student that's absent due to just like a regular illness needs to communicate with me via email. Coronavirus, COVID things are dealt with separately through the office, so make sure that if there is a COVID positive or a contact with a COVID positive person, that you have your student or that you contact the office to make that clear to them so we can get them set up otherwise. Some other things here, homework and notes are assigned daily. Complete notes and homework will receive 10 points, and taking notes is a requirement. They do get a grade for taking notes. So if they have incomplete notes or incomplete homework, that will result in them getting less than 10 points for those completion points for the day. My late work policy is that late homework and notes are only accepted until the end of a unit. After a unit test has been taken, the late work for that unit is no longer accepted for credit. This is how my grades are broken down here. So 20% of their grade is for homework and notes. 60% of their grade is the unit tests, and then 20% of their grade, the final 20% of their grade, is from the final exam score. I do have a test retake policy. Students who receive below a 70% on any unit test can retake that unit test. And my policy for that is due to the fact that they have to have a 70 or better to move on. So if and the biggest chunk of their grade comes from those unit tests, so it would be best for them to retake a test if they get under a 70. But they can only earn up to half the points back that they missed originally. So if a student missed 30 points on a 65-point test, they could have the opportunity to retake the exam. But since they missed 30 points, they can only receive up to 15 points of those back. So they can only receive up to half the points back that they missed originally. And then unit test retakes must be completed within 2 weeks of the original testing date. So that's just to kind of keep things orderly. We're not going back to the beginning of the semester with, oh my gosh, I wish I would have retaken that test and it's the last week of school, or the last week of the semester. So just trying to be proactive and do those things right away if that's something that a student would like to do. And then you can see at the bottom of the screen, my email address is trip@lhssc.org. You can email me anytime, and then my cell phone number is there as well for you to contact me if you have any concerns. For students, I request that maybe they're, if they're having a hard time getting hold of me, or if they have an emergency situation or something that's urgent that they don't think that I'll see an email quick enough or something like that. So that is my contact info. I also wanted to show you guys something that I'm going to send a link for here in this email as well. And that is for, excuse me, a Google form that I would like for you to fill out. If you would take the time to do that, I would really appreciate it. So what I would like from you guys is your full name, how you would like me to address you, who your student is. Sometimes there's some different names and things like that, and that's totally fine, but it's easier for me to identify who you are if I know what your name is and what your student's name is. And if you have a different last name, that would be helpful to let me know that. Any preferred email address contact if it's different from what I've reached you at here. Your phone number, if I need to contact you, what your preference is, email, phone call, or a text. What is the best time for me to contact you? Any other accommodations or things that I should know about your student? Any allergies or medical needs that I would need to be aware of that maybe aren't in PowerSchool or that your student might not have shared with me? And anything else that you want to share with me about your family, and then any other comments or concerns. So that is all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please let me know if you have any other comments or questions. Thanks.